Where are you on this journey called life? Good morning. My name is Father Frank Buckley. I am delighted to be with you and to be the host of our morning meditation group, Flourishing During Times of Uncertainty. Happy Wednesday. Today is going to be a great day. We will begin with a little inspiration, and I am returning back to our friend Mother Teresa of Calcutta, who talks a little bit about who lived this life of really a beautiful journey. And the title of the book I'll be reading from today is called Finding Calcutta. In our own everyday, ordinary lives, we are each invited, called to discern what is finding our own Calcutta. And one of the best ways to do this is through the experience of a little miracle in our everyday, ordinary lives. And this has the possibility of occurring through meditation. The second part of the program will be a 20-minute silent meditation where we focus our attention on giving this time to God, to just settling in and noticing our breath, slowing the tape down, and coming back to our true self. And the last part is the Ignatian Examine, where we look over our lives and just notice where God has come alive recently. St. Ignatius, the founder of the Jesuits, really believed in all his heart that what gives a human being a full life, that makes us come most alive, is this idea of becoming a contemplative in action, with the accent on contemplative. And I can think of no better way to move in this direction than through the importance of highlighting, prioritizing our morning practice. Let's begin. The journey of life. I have come to understand that my lack of humility limits my life. My pride not only gives me the illusion that I am the master of my fate, but it also causes me to limit what I will attempt. Let me read that again. My pride not only gives me the illusion that I am the master of my fate, but it also causes me to limit what I will attempt. Knowing my natural limitations, I narrow my work accordingly. Yet Mother said her nothingness and God's greatness, and in due course established a worldwide organization. She could say with Paul, "For this I toil, struggling with all his energy that he powerfully works within me." Mother Teresa's journey with Christ was a rigorous one that required a deep awareness of her own human frailty. One of her most fervent lifelong prayers was that she would never say no to Jesus. Today, her order, one of the most demanding in the Catholic Church, is also one of the most vigorous. For the many that hunger for a disciplined, just, and righteous life, Mother and the missionaries demonstrate that such a life is possible. The rigor requires availability 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A rickshaw puller once said, "I married very little and have 4 small children. Sometimes when I am not able to collect my rations, I have to beg for a few rupees. If I don't get anything, my children would starve that night. But I know that if I knock on these doors even in the middle of the night, No sister will send me away without a little something. Sometimes it is only a packet of biscuits and milk for the children. But that night, we do not go hungry. I never heard a missionary of charity say that she could not do something. Some mornings, two or three more children would appear at the center, having arrived during the night. I wondered if I had slept there, would I have been willing to rise to answer that door. No matter the hour when the poor came to the missionaries, they were met by one of God's pencils positioned in his hand, ready to write. As I think about the journey of my own life, I find these words so inspirational that we can all do something. And our something in this moment begins by being part of a contemplative community. As that beautiful article in America said, we are all monks now. We slow the tape down, we drop down to deep rest, and we experience a little miracle in our everyday, ordinary lives. And when we're in that space, we can all do something beautiful for God. Let's begin. So I invite you to unplug, to turn off all technology. I will set the timer for 20 minutes so you don't have to worry about it. I'll ring the bell to begin, and then I'll ring the bell when we come out of it. So I invite you to take your shoes off, sit down, settle in wherever you are, and let's begin and end with the sound of the bell. Listen, listen. The sound of this beautiful bell returns us to our true home. Lowering the eyes, turning the gaze inwards, we take the attention to the body. We start with the feet, feeling the feet pressed on to the green earth, our mother, and know that she may be trusted. Just allow the earth to support you for a moment. We take the attention to the chair, providing support for the body, and we all need support in our lives. Let's reflect on where we felt supported recently. Lengthen the spine, healthy body. Relax the shoulders, anything you've been holding on to, just let it go. Let it slide off the shoulders. The earth is big enough to receive and hold it. Let go, surrender, release. And just notice if you feel a little lighter. Moving towards the front of the body, we take the attention to the heart, that beautiful place in our body where the spiritual world touches the physical world. And see if we can come up with something in our life that brings us a little joy, and name it in one word. Gently place that word towards the back of your heart, and as a community, let's breathe one time into the joy. Inhale and exhale, and just notice what you feel. Finally, arriving at the forehead, the seat of intuition, the area between our eyebrows, that space that always tells the truth. Let's focus on an intention for today. St. Ignatius invites us to ask God for something we deeply desire in our lives in this moment. Wonderful. We'll seal that intention with an inhale and exhale. Take the attention to the breath. Engage your sacred word. Repeat it 3 or 4 times, and then drop down and enjoy a little deep rest. Please continue. Gently bring your attention back to the room. If your eyes were closed, open your eyes, circle the wrists, bring a little energy back into the body, circle the arms. Whatever we do one way, we reverse to the other way. Good. Shrug the shoulders and release. Two more times. Inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and gently exhale. Wonderful. Bring your attention back to the room. And now it is time where we do our Jesuit Ignatian Examen. Today is Wednesday. We just looked over the last 24 hours and notice where God showed up in big or little ways. And feel free to write them in the comment box. One of the big invitations of this contemplative virtual community is to build a little community, to connect, connect, and connect by noticing the way God is moving in our individual lives and in the world. So as always on Wednesday, my one of the places I always notice God coming alive is in the face of those people on the margins. And yesterday, we had the food pantry, and it was like something I've never really experienced before. There was no huge line, but it was just a steady stream of humanity coming by to get food from 4 to 6, ranging from people living on the streets to mothers with little children to people in temporary shelters with great dogs. And there was fresh fruits and vegetables and water and vitamin water and seltzer water. And it was also, we had some really lovely volunteers who joined us for the day. And it was just a little slice of heaven here on earth. So very grateful for that. The other place I found God come alive recently has been just in the little inspiration we do before we begin the meditation. Excuse me. And I really love this idea of Mother Teresa's that she talks about humility in a way that doesn't come naturally for me. I usually think of humility as shrinking. But what she talks about is when we become pencils in God's hands, the exact opposite uh, occurs. We don't limit ourselves, but through humility, we're able to expand. And then the last thing was yesterday, one of the highlights of this pandemic has been we're able to do the Flourishing and Recovery group on Tuesdays and Thursdays on the patio for people living on the streets struggling with addiction. And yesterday we had really an amazing group, 13 people. And one of the things we practice is in recovery, how do we focus on flourishing? And one of the ways we do it is through nutritious food. And Brother Henry, to my surprise, brought the most beautiful plate of sliced watermelon that were actually my favorite, seedless, and unbelievably sweet and messy. And we got to enjoy a little recovery and watermelon and connection. So, like I say, a little slice of heaven right here on the corner of between Selma and Sunset. So, do me a favor, just put in the comment boxes where you've noticed God come alive. Let's read those comment boxes, comment on other people's comment. This is one group where we allow crosstalk. And it's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. Really, thank you so much for prioritizing your morning practice by showing up on the mat this morning. Have a beautiful rest of the day, and God bless you.